Hello and welcome to another episode of The Last 7, a Newport-based podcast and not so philosophical wax regarding the last 7 days. I'm your host Dan Rowley. With me this week, Kenneth Trainer.
Hello.
Justin Cliff.
Hi.
And Antonio Romola.
Hello.
Sorry that we didn't do an episode last week. Sorry especially to Josh, our number one fan. Tony, you've been away.
I have.
You're going to open last week. Oh yeah, that was the point. Last week, we sat down, we settled, we were ready to record, and the roadworks that have been outside for a good while started up. They've been doing roadworks for ages now, and in recent weeks they've started doing a night shift. It starts at about 9:30, and it's all through until about 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
Yeah, then they're doing the tarmacking and stuff.
Oh.
So we were fuming.
Yeah, they resurfaced the whole road, didn't they?
So maybe,
I like it. It looks brand
good.
new, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when they
it's
painted the new white lines on.
yeah, cunts of the week for last week though, certainly.
Should we pretend it's last week?
All right. Doodle-doo, 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 doodle-doo. Ah. So this week's cunt of the week, the roadworks outside because we can't record.
You been up to anything, Tone?
Yeah, well, yeah. So what, like 2 weeks ago now?
2 weeks ago before now, which is 4 weeks ago from when we just started
Oh,
recording.
Wait, are we still in the past?
I'm not,
Yeah, we're still
really,
in the
past. Oh, I'm not here.
Oh.
Yeah, you're not, are you? Oh,
No,
that's why I'm confused because he was there, but I'm right now. I'm back on board with it. Yeah, I've been away.
I think we've broken the
I
illusion.
flew back this morning.
Yeah, I don't think
You're going to convince anybody.
I don't think anyone thinks that this is the past.
So, it's Tuesday the 3rd of March.
Tone, where have you been, mate?
I've been to Budapest in Hungary.
Oh, how come?
I went there for Lauren's birthday.
Lauren being your partner.
Yeah, my girlfriend Lauren felt like going away for her birthday. Really, do
Yep.
something nice, have an experience instead of getting gifts.
You told me something interesting about the city of Budapest. That it's two cities.
Yeah,
Budapest.
Buda and Pest. And they sort of became one after huge like history of like sort of separation and stuff, not getting on and that.
Brilliant.
But then it became.
Did
one.
he have more full information on this last week?
He did, yeah.
and now it's been a week. He's forgotten about it. He's forgotten exactly what it was. Like.
I have just forgotten it all.
He was brimming with information last week, man. That's why it was going to be an absolute killer. There was a good few cunts and heroes of the week. Obviously, you were cunt of the week for not being here.
Yeah.
But luckily, we didn't record. So we'll have that. We'll have it done this week as well. But if you've got a cunt of this week, then brilliant. We'll get to that.
Oh yeah.
Drugs are legal in Ireland today.
What? What drugs?
Illegal, illicit drugs. Until midnight tonight, they are legal in the Republic of Ireland.
Why?
Their drug legislation turned out to be unconstitutional, and they had to rewrite it. But because you can't have a bill or a law passed until a day after all of the signatories are done, then today drugs are legal, technically.
No way.
But technically, if you had somebody on a charge of possession today, you could arrest them because you knew that you could have 24 hours in custody before charging them.
Ah, so it's not like the whole street is like people just like snorting coke off bloody
No.
walls, and people going mental with a bit of wacky backy.
That's what people think when when people discuss legalization of drugs. They think it's going to be this terrible orgy of
Like the minute it happens, like well,
Civilization's
basically,
gonna collapse.
the assumption is that the only reason people don't do that is because it's illegal, and it's just not true.
Yeah, loads of people are doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And I think the same people would do it, and I think a lot of people wouldn't be interested.
No, people are either interested or not. It's available. That's what people don't understand.
Someone once said to me, "Oh, what about airline pilots?" I said, "Well, what about them?" Do you know what I mean? It's like, "Oh yeah, well, do you hear about those guys? They were like drunk flying the plane." I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
and they
drunk.
got done for it." And then, so what
yeah.
you saying that alcohol should be illegal in case
that was the point, wasn't it? Drunk. There's a
You
very
think everything will
famous.
go to shit.
There's a very famous sheriff in America. I'm not sure if he's still running a joint. His name's
Oh,
Joe
he's
Arpaio.
fucking brilliant.
You've heard of him?
Yeah.
Have you heard of Joe Arpaio, Tone?
No.
He's a pretty hardline right wing douchebag sheriff in America, but his prison works for a lot of people's idea of prison being too cushy. He sort of decided to get rid of that. So his guys sleep in bunks, like in tents outside.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a totally different guy.
They wear pink. There's no gym equipment. He's like, I'm not having people coming to my
I know
jail
this
to pump
guy.
themselves up and go out and commit more crime. It's disgraceful. So they've got no quality of life in there. They operate on a chain gang a lot of the time, so they dig trenches.
Sounded like John Wayne had a stroke.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Yeah, and he is like hardline against all drugs, and he's famous for saying a couple of things, but mostly that he said if you legalise, people talk about legalisation back and forth, but if you legalise, you're going to have people just, your doctor, your surgeon, puffing away on marijuana and cocaine before he opens you up. Like Ken says, like as if he's going, it's what? It's legal. Oh, fantastic, yeah.
Because we've all been waiting to do it whilst at work.
Insane.
I think the people who, I don't know what you think of this, but could it be that the people who think that are actually waiting for the day that it's...
Yeah.
People that have thought, well, I'm not going to do anything because...
I didn't touch a drop of liquor until my 21st birthday, and it was a beer with my dad. And then it just went mental from there. From then on. Yeah, all the time, because it's legal. Like, therefore, I have to do it. That's what legal means, right? No.
Yeah, my liver's fucked, my lungs are gone, man, with all the tar in them.
Yeah, this is my third 16-year-old wife. You have to do it. So yeah, legal drugs there.
Yeah, well, I thought it was going to. I thought you were saying that they're trying out some sort of, you know, the plot from the film The Purge, where all crime is just legal for a day.
Yeah, interesting.
Maybe.
Yeah, interesting
Maybe that's
idea.
it.
That
Maybe the 11th of March every year in Ireland will be drugs day.
Well, St. Patrick's Day coming up, so there's going to be some severe drug misuse.
Yeah, but
I'm
there's
talking
not
about the other drugs,
more,
not the
any
alcohol.
less drug taking tonight.
I don't think so.
There is
I don't think so.
any other time of the year.
Let's see that get reported that Ireland doesn't go into meltdown.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That it's not like air traffic controllers shooting up smack and fucking...
11 planes were downed in Ireland last night. 14 people were operated on by high doctors.
See, the 200-metre record was smashed this week.
Yeah, I did see it by like a 91-year-old dude.
Exactly, yeah, that's right. Yeah, 95 years old he was,
95,
man. What was his name?
No way.
Charles Eugster is his name. He ran it, smashed the previous record, ran it in a time of 55.63 seconds.
For his age group.
Yeah, for his age group.
Right.
Which
He wasn't beating top athletes times, mate.
Okay, alright, well, that's not that big a deal.
you would have heard that.
That's not that big a deal. Oh,
What
man.
do you mean he's 95?
Yeah, I know, but
And he's able to run 200 metres.
He's able to even run 200 metres.
Well, I know, but the guy who did it before was the same age and managed it at the record.
Yeah, you're right.
So-
Yeah, but it's not every 95-year-old doing it. It's only a few of them.
How many?
Very,
One of
very
those.
selective.
There
It's
can't be
age
that many,
group,
can
It's not
there?
like specifically
Yeah.
95.
They
Well,
have...
exactly, but there we are then. If there's not that many, then it was an easy record to beat.
He is the oldest man to run the 200 metres in the shortest amount of time.
Yeah, in under a minute.
That's fucking amazing. It doesn't look amazing when he's doing it. It looks like he's gonna be, like he's gonna cross the line and then he's gonna flatline.
But then, if you just forget his age,
You can't, not when you see him running.
Not when you
it's
see
not-
him, but not when
it's
you
not
see
a
him.
big
running.
deal. 'Cause he's
But
actually
you know,
just
fair
quite
play
fit.
to him. Yeah,
The
he's quite
age,
fit.
the age is
But,
the point, Tone.
Yeah.
You can't forget about the age and say it doesn't matter.
What I'm saying is forget the age.
He's 95.
Yeah, no.
Just think of him as an athlete.
Then he'd just be a slow athlete,
Whether
mate.
he's
There's
slow
no
or he's
point
fast,
in
he's
doing
just
that.
a fast athlete. Forget his age.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. He wouldn't be
that's
fast
what we're
compared
saying.
to like a 50-year-old, say.
No, dude. No.
Like the 70-year-old, there were two other guys racing who were in their 70s, and they smashed him. But Jay's right, you can't forget the age because it's done by age.
Do you know he started weight training when he was like 55, 60, just to reverse the aging
No
process?
way.
He said he hasn't even been healthy his whole life. He started like mid 50s, 60s, and now he's just like, you know.
Yeah. If his goal was reversing the aging process, though, he has failed.
Yeah, well, he slowed it down though, and he stemmed it.
You're still not impressed, are you, Tone?
I reckon we should have just left him thinking that he beat,
He beat Usain Bolt.
Yeah, Usain
The
Bolt.
current
Yeah, the
fastest
age-
man
the
that's
age would
ever
have mattered
lived.
then,
he
wouldn't
beat
it?
Yeah. Age would matter then, yeah.
You
Where's he been for 95 years? Where's he been like breaking records? When he was fucking 94 or 93, like why is he waited now?
Well, I don't know if he...
5 years off a century, I'm gonna finally unleash to the world my superhuman strength.
I don't know what nationality it is, but it sounds very British. Almost northern to say, yeah, no, I've been doing 200 metres in under 18 seconds for a few years now, but you don't like to show off.
Where is he from?
I don't know.
German dude.
His surname is Eugster. It's an English pronunciation, but it's Eugster. I'm sure Ken will get it on now. But yeah, good man. Good nomination for Hero of the Week as well. Legend.
Yeah, I reckon.
Another nomination I thought for Hero of the Week, Folk of the Internet. That dude who was photographed dancing.
Oh yeah. Heroes of the Week. Gotta go to folk of the internet.
Do you want to explain it?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of my suggestions for Cunt of the Week because I think it's a great one.
Yeah.
But there's a picture. 2 pictures were released on this kind of website where you can post stuff anonymously, and one of the images is a guy, like quite a large guy, big guy, dancing. One image is that, and then the other image is just him just looking down at his feet, looking embarrassed and humiliated, and the 2 photos are next to one another, and the caption reads something like saw this rare specimen dancing in the pub. He soon stopped when he saw us all laughing at him. And it's just like heartbreaking. And I saw it on social media on that fucking late night before I went to bed, and I was like, oh, and I posted it on Facebook, and I was just like, whoever put this post up on the internet, you are the definition of the word cunt. And then the next morning I woke up and people had posted on my thing saying, check this out, and it was in the Huffington Post that a woman in LA did this massive online petition to find this guy, this big guy who's been shamed for dancing and stuff, and throw him an amazing party in LA. 1,700 women all signed this petition that they'd all attend the party to dance with this dude, and then it turned out they actually found him. And he's from London, and at the moment he's in Estonia or something like that. He's in some sort of other country, but he's going to go over to LA. They've done a crowdfunding thing. They've got him all of his money to go out on the plane. They're going to fly him over there. 1,700 women. It's probably way more than that now because Pharrell, you know the music guy Pharrell. Do you know him?
I'm happy. That song.
Oh yeah.
Pharrell
Williams. Moby. Do you know Moby?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
he's about 10, 15 years ago. So
yeah.
you're safe there.
Yeah. Pharrell's like 10, 15 years ago. He's fucking
NERD, mate.
But NERD.
Yeah, no, but he's mostly big.
Anyway,
Move on. Couple of years.
And Andrew WK have all offered to play at the fucking
I'll
gig.
bet, yeah.
It's
I bet
amazing.
Andrew WK's trying to get in there.
Yeah.
I love Andrew WK.
What's that?
man.
A party? Oh,
Yeah.
right. I've got that song, right?
Yeah, I love him, man. He is a proper party philosopher. But anyway,
Andrew
so this
WK.
guy's going over. I fucking mate, do a little bit of digging into Andrew WK. So
Yes.
this guy is going over to LA and stuff, and he's going to attend this party, and all these fucking people are going to be there. So what an amazing power of the internet kind of story.
The
that
worst
is.
of the internet straight away, shaming
Yeah.
people. Cause he was outside just having a good old jerk, having a wicked dance. So the shame of the internet followed by the positivity that it can bring for other people who are just going, well, that's not even very fair. And there could be people who would just post and say that's bullshit. Justin who posted it going, you're absolute cunt. So hopefully the people who took it will, read the reaction and feel genuinely embarrassed and silly about what they've done.
Yeah.
And they seem like the kind of people who are shallow enough to think that a party with Pharrell and all that is probably the epitome of human achievement.
Yeah,
And he gets to do it. He's gonna have a banging time.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. If anything, if they don't feel guilty, I hope they just feel
Jealous.
just jealous,
Yeah,
just
so- yeah.
seething.
But what if he gets there and they all welcome and he's brilliant? What if his dancing is like shit?
Yeah.
What if
Party
it's
just ends
terrible?
up being shit.
Pharrell just pops on. All right, man, we're all here for you. Woo, yeah, because I'm happy, kid. Oh, mate.
Whoa. What's that?
Yeah,
It's my dancer.
incredible though. So yeah, go people of the internet. Well, happy about it.
And the girl who launched the campaign is at Cassandra Rules on Twitter.
Oh, nice, big up.
So
We'll post to this.
yeah,
and,
post to this, and you are our hero of the week, I guess.
Yeah, people of the internet, I reckon, hero of the week. Because like you say, Tony, 95-year-old running 200 metres, fucking, what's the point?
Oh no, can't we have two heroes?
Well, his name is Dr. Charles Eugster. He's a Londoner, but he lives in Munich.
Ah,
Or München.
I said.
According to
Germany,
The Independent, he only began exercising when he was 85.
Oh,
So
85.
not 55,
sorry.
85.
Whoa.
Which
Or
is
reverse
why
the
we-
aging process.
Why
Oh,
we haven't heard of him until
Which was
now.
when I was fucking 16. That's weird.
Yeah, retired dentist, zipped around the track 55.48 seconds, nearly 3 times slower than Olympic and world 200 metre sprint champion.
Oh, why
Usain
did they have
Bolt.
to write how much slower he was? The only reason I made that reference about me
Well,
being 16 is like when I was, you know, at the same time as him.
To be fair,
10
right?
years.
To be fair, that's later on in the article. The headline is, "Watch 95-year-old retired dentist smash 200-meter sprint record."
Sprint is a bit of a misnomer as well.
It also says that he shaved over 2 seconds off the existing record before it says how much slower than Usain Bolt he is. But to be fair, you know, we all stand in relation to Usain Bolt the same way. It's all about how much slower we are than him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course it is.
You know, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, so definitely join Heroes of the Week. That's what I said. I don't like picking them. Just Heroes of the Week, just bring them too. And if you've got any suggestions, you can email us, thelast7podcast@gmail.com, or follow us on Twitter @thelast7. Or cunts of the week. Jay?
Yeah, so I've got the cunts that posted the image. I
Yep,
think
of
they're
course.
pretty much covered. They're cunts of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I've also got a bit of a controversial one. Well, I don't know how controversial it'll be in this room. I don't know who'll be with me or who'll be against me and who'll be indifferent. I'm kind of indifferent, but I'm leaning towards cunt, and it's Jeremy Clarkson. It is time.
Why? Because he had an argument with the producer?
Well, not because of the way that his business is handled behind closed doors. Whatever, you know, if he had a fight with somebody in the BBC studios over some food, then fine. You know,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. And the BBC have like really overreacted apparently by pulling this Sunday's episode of Top Gear and next Sunday's episode of Top Gear. My main problem is just with Top Gear.
Yeah.
And you know, if they
Don't
can
bang
shut it
Clarkson,
down, like,
get Top Gear out of it, yeah.
well, yeah, but no, but if Clarkson's like the fucking what's the thing that makes the problem?
Catalyst.
If he's the catalyst, then yeah, destroy it through him. It's so rubbish.
Ken's
It's so
mentioned it
shit.
before. It's the most popular show in the world.
I know, mate. I was listening to the radio all day today. They're all talking about Clarkson.
Half
I
a
was
million
like,
people
do
have
you
signed a
know what?
petition to get
to get him back on.
Yeah.
A
Do you
woman
know-
made,
do you know-
a woman
do you
made
know-
a banging point. She was like, we should make a counter petition because there's probably 500,000 people who don't want him on the telly anymore. And that's because of all of his previous history, all of his fucking stupid comments that he's just, he's pushing the envelope, he's just
Yeah.
questioning what PC is.
No.
Yeah, well, no, but fucking, I read his article in The Sun the other day, and he talks about fucking Jon Snow doing this marijuana,
The Cannabis Live.
yeah, Cannabis Live, when Jon Snow smoked weed and stuff. And Jeremy Clarkson's like, you know, you don't have to, you know, do something to understand, to know what it feels like. It's ridiculous inside journalism that's just provoking, you know, just trying to be interesting by saying Jon Snow's going to smoke pot and all this sort of stuff. And he said, and Jon probably found himself stumbling down the stairs late at night, opening the, you know, he said, I know what it's like to be high on weed. He's like, I can imagine what it's like. He's never done it, but he can imagine what it's like, and he knows that he'd just be by the fridge door, looking in there for some munchies, probably like hallucinating.
Well,
You're just like, I wish
Yeah.
I could do justice to the actual stupidity of the article, but it was fucking so stupid, and that set me off on my Clarkson negativity train.
I don't know exactly what happened. He's a constituent of mine, a friend of mine. He's a huge talent. Do you know who said that?
gotta be
Yeah,
Cameron.
stick.
It was Cameron.
Yeah, man.
Cameron.
Even the
David
Prime
Cameron.
Minister is talking about Clarkson. What do you reckon the global, the estimated worldwide audience is for Top Gear?
Per week.
100 million.
Per week.
Do you want to give that a go, Tom?
Global, yeah?
Yeah, I scoffed at 100 million. I was like, pfft.
Yeah, that 100 million's probably nowhere near enough, is it? I reckon
Or way
you've
too
got
much.
300
Oh,
million.
350 million people
350 million.
watching Clarkson, Hammond, May, The Stig. Do you
Yeah.
know what it started?
Mate, it's 'cause it's popular. It doesn't mean.
Do you know what it started? Yeah, I
good,
know.
right?
Do
It's true.
you know what it started?
I
I didn't know. This is
1987.
1977. As a local show on BBC Midlands.
it
Not with Clarkson stuff, because you remember it was quite a different show in the 90s,
was,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they had the ex-presenter on the radio talking about it today and talking about it like, you know, and he was like, I think the show can live without him. It's lived without him before. And I was
I'd
like,
say
yeah,
it-
before. I was like, nobody knew what it fucking was.
No, I think it's him. He sort of relaunched it, didn't he?
Yeah.
The new
Yeah.
format of it, like since when they do all these daft tests and stuff and
Mm.
dumb challenges and going all around the world. I think that's all.
He
down
owns
to
some
him,
sway,
really.
Clarkson, because of the audience and because you can't beat those figures sort of week in, week out, and he gets to do what he likes. But I think that might be it. It's past the point of presenting now, and he knows that he's just the figurehead of the show. It's always going to bring in these ratings as long as I'm here. So just going to do what I like. I don't think he's done anything ridiculously bad. I don't think that.
I don't understand exactly what's happening. This is a fracas with a producer.
Fracas.
Yeah, it's something about a thrown punch to a producer with an argument about food after a recording of the show,
Right.
which you could easily have with a producer if there weren't any food at the end of a show.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. I don't
He
get.
punched,
I don't.
he
I
punched
don't
Piers
really
Morgan
care
once,
what
didn't
he's
he?
done.
punched
I just
Piers
think
Morgan.
Let's get on this and get. I just fucking hate the show. Like, I just
Yeah,
hate
you
the
hate,
show.
you hate the show. I don't think you hate it very much.
350
I've never ever liked it,
million
never been
people, Jay,
interested in it at
disagree
all.
with you,
I
man.
don't care if he mows down a group of nuns tomorrow. He's punched Piers Morgan and is therefore exempt from ever being cunt of the week.
Fair play here. Because if there's one cunt in the universe I hate more than Jeremy Clarkson, it's Piers Morgan. So I'm going to cunt off. Piers Morgan, you are this.
Horrible cunt.
Speaking of cunts, God, again this week,
What's he done now?
taking away Sam Simon, one of the creators of The Simpsons, aged 59.
Yeah,
Yeah, he died on Sunday.
everything happens for a reason there, mate.
I will fucking strangle you where you stand.
Just giving God's side of the argument is
Rarely
rarely presented in this room.
I beg your pardon, you're so right. No, in the interest of balance, we're going to go to Justin, the voice of God. Everything happens for a reason. Could you maybe tell me the reason?
It's about seeking inside yourself. There's a larger story at here, and you've got to all look inside yourselves now and find out why I do these terrible, horrible things to the rest of the human race.
Well, it
Well,
is
that was profound, so I look forward to more insights on some of the stuff we discussed from
You're
God.
welcome, guys.
but yeah, executive producers credit all the way through until I suppose I'll do it posthumously, man. But yeah, you know what Matt Groening's sort of title on that show now is? The creator. He's an executive creative consultant.
Really?
Yeah.
Which means that he just pops his head in every now and again and goes, "Still making The Simpsons, yeah?" And they're all like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Great, keep it going."
I don't think he goes to Korea where it's all like made.
South Park's got it right, haven't they?
Yeah, 100%, man. Love South Park.
Best cartoon.
Simpsons is the best cartoon, but South Park's as well.
No,
All right.
South Park's better.
Are you saying South Park animation is easier to make?
Just saying, the whole way they go about it is better. They just have 5 people in a room. They write it one day, record it the next day, animate it the following days of that week, and then it's on fucking telly. They respond to things, to live events, things that happen in the world, fortnightly.
It is brilliant, man. And in fairness to South Park, I've not seen many dips in quality. There's individual episodes that I might not like or might not like as much, but there's
No,
rare.
that is another thing
There's
as
a
well.
rare
It
mix.
is one of those ones, one of the rare ones you can look at and go, it just keeps getting better. Like,
yeah.
it just gets better. I mean, the last season's been a bit dodgy, but let's not, we'll just discount that one. Just discount that one. Just gets better.
Until it gets worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
The law of averages there.
Yeah. It's going to happen, isn't it? Not everyone shits a good, clean, smooth, comfortable poo every time. Sometimes we have a hard one. Sometimes we have a runny one.
What a horrible analogy.
Talking about things coming out, there's an article on the BBC News website about Scottish baby names from last year.
Oh, well, these are the most popular ones.
The most unusual. There were 56,725 births registered in Scotland last year, 2014. There's a sentence that says 3 baby boys born in Scotland last year were called M, R, and T. Like just the letter.
God.
Like I that's all it says in the sentence. That's it.
M, R, and T.
So like one of the boys is just called M. 2 children were called Freedom.
Oh.
And 3 children were named Indy.
What? INDIE?
No, INDY.
Oh, right, okay.
So I think like Indiana Jones / Independence.
Right, yeah, nice.
Other names included Bluebell Fawn, that's hyphenated.
Oh.
Nicholas Darius, that's hyphenated. Leonidas and Dodge.
Leonidas from
Leonidas
fucking
from
300.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into more of this. The most
Jared Butler is Scottish.
the most popular names were Jack and Emily, for boys and girls respectively.
Beautiful.
But some of the other unusual names: Arlo, ARRLO, Draven.
Oh, God.
Now,
Great.
I think this is right. Okay, Daiquiri. Is that daiquiri?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, daiquiri.
Daiquiri.
Oh.
God.
Emmett, Spartacus, and Thor. Are all names.
Thorn.
Thor.
Oh, it's not bad.
Did you say
Thor?
Thorn?
Yeah, Thor.
Thor, like the
Oh,
god
Thor.
of thunder. Yeah.
Bloody hell.
That is no. Come on, you can't get away with a name like that. Thor.
It's a decent enough name.
What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna read the last bit, and then for the girls' names, I'm gonna give it to Dan, because the spelling on some of these names is just, yeah, you might implode actually. Mate. 3 girls were called Khaleesi,
Oh, fantastic.
Right, okay.
Tough
and
follow.
then if you just see here is the list on there, so Juniper, and then if you just look at some of the other girls' names,
Oh God. Oh mate. Oh no.
Did you know he was gonna fucking?
yeah, of course.
Juniper. Jolyn Diamond. JOLYNN -Diamond spelled the normal way. Madison Diamonds. Madison spelled MADDYSON.
YS.
Wait.
Yeah, as in
And how is Diamond spelled, Dan?
DYAMONDS. So Mad, that should be pronounced Mad Dyson. 13 a star. 13, the number, just with an A at the end. 13 a star with 2 R's.
Like hyphenate.
Oh my god.
Martina.
Oh my God.
13
Bloody hell. I just remembered something that happened to Alessandro in the market.
Oh,
A woman was racist to him, but she got it completely wrong.
Really?
wait,
Yeah.
oh.
She called him a black bastard.
Fucking hell.
And
Right. For any listeners listening who don't know the shade or tone or origin of you and your brother,
he's been going to
You're
the
Welsh.
sunbeds a
Yeah.
lot, my brother.
I'm
So he's
Italian
darker
looking.
than me,
Sure.
but he ain't black.
No, he's not.
No,
And
he's
this
an
woman-
Italian man who's been going
this-
to the sunbed.
This woman called him a black bastard.
I hope he
Why?
told her to fuck off.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a long story, but
Or
it
did he
all-
overcharge her
It
for
all
a
started
fruit
off
veg?
with a punnet of plums, where this woman had like over
as many
overfilled.
good races
So
and
this
tales
is,
do.
this is a customer of his.
Planet of plums.
Yeah,
All
the
started
feud
with a punnet of
started
plums.
between this
Yeah,
woman
but she
and
was
my
trying to
mum.
buy stuff off of him, and so that it ends
Yeah,
up
no.
with that.
Right,
She
yeah.
To
cheekily,
fill in the blanks.
she cheekily got plums from one punnet and overfilled her punnet that she picked up.
Big problem in the.
So the feud started between her and
groceries.
my mum, because my mum was like, "Excuse me, madam, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's why
I've
they're
seen-
punneted, bitch.
I've seen you do that before, and I wanted to tell you before that's not acceptable, because now we've got a punnet which we're not going to be able to sell." And the woman was like, "Well, all right then, keep your plums." And mum was like, "Well, yeah, I would like them back there. That punnet is a full punnet. That is a full punnet." And she was like, this woman was like, "Oh, well, you're still gonna make a profit, aren't you?" And my mum was like, "Right,
No.
you topping up your punnet even more is like stealing. Is like you're stealing more. You're stealing ones that you're not gonna pay for." And then she was like, "Oh, just get off my back," to my mum.
Was your mum on her
And my
back?
mum was
Let's
like,
just
my mum was like,
because if your mum was literally on her back, then she's got a good
my
point.
mum was like, "I beg your pardon," and she was like, "Just all right, just stop going on about it. Get out of my face." And my mum was like, "Well, no, you just apologised." She said, "If I just told you that you to put those back and that you shouldn't be taking them, you should have at least apologised." And
It's
this
such a
woman was
weird
like,
conversation
blah,
to be
blah,
having. Like,
yeah,
you
it
know,
was
Alessandro
like
hasn't
that.
even made an appearance
I
yet.
know!
No, but in the end, my mum was like, "Leave your stuff." She goes, I refuse to serve you. You're being rude." Blah blah blah. And then this woman was refusing to, like, she just tried to carry on shopping and was like, just leave it. Get away from me. And my mum was like just fuming that she was talking to her like that. So eventually my brother came out and he tried to grab the basket off this woman. Mind you, I'm not telling this story very, very well, because it escalated like properly. Like I can't remember the exact exchanges between her and my mum. But yeah, so basically, eventually, my brother came out and went, "What the hell's going on?" sort of thing. Tried to take this basket off this woman and just told her to fuck off. Just fuck off, he said to this woman. But as he was trying to stole this basket from her. She was trying to grab like the fruit that was in it to like throw at my mum. And he was there pulling at it, blah blah blah. And he was like, "Do you know what? Just fuck off. Just fuck off." He said to this woman, and she just turned around and said, "And you can shut up, you black bastard." She said to him, and then everybody just went silent. Like everyone that was out of shop just sort of like stopped. It was like everyone just froze on the spot. And this woman just sort of like stormed off. You could just hear her fucking heels against the floor. It was so awkward.
We'll have to get a theme tune for it, man, for Tales from the Market.
I like that they just pop up every now and again. Like you'll say something and you'll go, "Oh, that's reminded me. Racism in the workplace." Someone was racist to my brother today, but she was wrong.
Touch of this week in history, chaps?
Oh yes, please.
Then let's head back. Right, so guys, now he's out of the room. Justin is cunt of the week for just getting up and leaving.
Well, yeah.
God, all these interruptions.
What sort of cunt would do that?
Yeah, it's all.
I've said it before.
Well, it's just all the time with this guy. Do you know what I mean? If he's here, he's either done no work or he just has to disturb everything. If he's not here, he's a massive cunt. And we're down a segment.
He's always on call, isn't he, with his...
All right. So as I say, email us thelast7podcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at thelast7 to suggest your cunts of the week. Justin's like, you know, he's always there, so you can tick that box if you want. Weekly suggestions are always welcome. Like the dog poisoner at Crufts.
Oh yeah.
This week, Tone.
Yes.
In 2014, so last year. Weird, it was a year ago. The Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 disappears. That was a year ago this week.
Still fucking looking for it.
Yeah, it was a year ago. Unbelievable.
I can't get over it. I really can't get over it. And they said on the radio that it'll probably go down as one of the biggest mysteries of the 21st century.
Oh
like,
yeah, of course, because you think
they might never find it, and it might go down as one of the, in history as the biggest mysteries. Like, fuck me.
While I was looking at that, there was a thing that came up, and I only bring it up because it's near where I grew up. In 1950, this week, the Landau air disaster happened. Landau is just between sort of my village, Eglwys and another village called Sigenston. 80 people died, and it made it the deadliest air disaster in the world at the time.
Whoa.
Okay, so this week I'm going to ask you to guess the date. Andrew Watson, we know an Andy Watson.
Oh yeah.
He debuts as the first black international football player and captain. What year do you think that happened?
I got no idea.
No, I'm going to go with 1968.
No, I'll go earlier. I'll go 1930.
Nice. Earlier is the key. It was in 1881.
There you go.
What?
Andrew Watson debuts as the first black international football player and captain of Scotland.
Wow.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Forward thinking. Smart, shrewd Scots. You should be very, very proud, Ken.
Yeah.
Just polished off this week in history, Jay. Back in the room. How's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of phone calls, bit of laptop work. You're good now, yeah?
All good.
Head in the game?
Tickety boo, yeah.
We said some very scurrilous things about you while you were out of the room.
Really?
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's right, yeah.
You're not going to tell me what they are now, I'll just have to listen back, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
definitely.
we need listeners, mate.
Yeah, that's good. We should all leave the room for a brief period of time during this podcast and then, you know. Oh, but I'm glad I missed This Week in History. It's actually one of my favourite bits.
Yeah, well, you did.
When giving to charity, is it more worthy to give to animals or humans?
No, humans.
Oh, right.
What, you thought I was going to say animals?
No, I thought you'd have a bit of a ponder about it.
No, not at all. Definitely, straight up. Children. Any charities to do with children. Straight up. Yeah, I do think it's a bit weird that there are so many charities for animals, and there's people that there's people that will give so much to animals and they don't even give to
Donkey sanctuaries was the big one.
Yeah, this is coming from the guy who adopted a dog on the street once and then went directly into the bank afterwards.
Yeah, but that's just because, you know,
So
I
yeah,
can't.
someone's going to try and make a standing order and...
Well, I get sucked in really easily. Like, no, I'm not sucked in. Like, I feel too polite to say sorry. No, I don't want to give to this charity. I just can't. Especially when it's women that stop me.
what about animal testing though? Like, right, so all these poor animals, these little rabbits and these little macaque monkeys getting AIDS injected into their eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
For us, so we can live longer.
Hold on. back up.
Hang on, there's no charity. What charity's asking?
No. There's charities fighting against that. I'm just saying.
Can you
the
imagine
whole-
that pitch on the street with this stop you?
That's amazing. Yeah, we're
Think
pro animal
about it, yeah.
testing.
What about guide dogs for the blind?
Yeah, that's alright, but do they really need money for that?
Who pays to train the dogs? They gotta teach
Have
them.
you not
how
heard
to-
of the charity Guide Dogs for the
Yeah,
Blind?
but surely the people that do it for the love of dogs, right? They don't get
Love
paid.
of dogs.
It's
Love of the blind.
Well, so they'll do it for free as well. So you just give up
No,
for
but
the love
people
of
that love
dogs.
spending time with dogs, they just like train them and that, and do it for the passion of helping blind people and just being around dogs.
For
Tom,
free.
would you ever do anything for free?
If it's
No.
something I really loved, I
So
probably
I'm really,
would.
really surprised that you think that other people are going to give up their
Their
the
lives
time
to
and their
train
energy.
dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're suggesting they do it for free. That's the point. They need the money to pay the people to train the dogs.
Yeah, okay, fine. Do they really need that much money though? What, for a bit of dog food and like, for a lead in that? What else they need money for?
You as you train as starter kits.
What sort of wage are they on? Like hourly if they're just training dogs? So
I don't
like,
know.
What, like £10 an hour? Like, so the wage for that? What else do they need money for?
Well, you need to keep the dogs.
Overheads to do the
That's what
advertising for
they
the
Where
boss
did
is
you
for.
get
Hang
the
on a
dogs?
minute. What sort of company is this that's got out in public and ask people to
Well, no,
fucking
guide dogs
donate?
for the blind.
It's a
They-
charity.
Charity. Yeah.
No, guide dogs for the blind. They breed dogs and they get the puppies, and then as they grow up, they teach them how to be like a guide dog. So how to keep someone
guide
safe.
dogs are
How
incredible.
Yeah,
Tim. They're
they
not like
stop you
mangy dogs that they just get in for a week.
I've seen a lot of shit ones.
Go on then.
I've seen a lot of shit
A
ones.
lot of
Like,
shit guide dogs.
Yeah, just so many that just, like I've seen a lot of old people, like blind people, that have obviously had their dogs for like donkeys. They maybe have been given the choice of having a new one.
Blind people,
But they
sorry.
just-
Yeah, you got
Sorry.
donkey's years is what you mean. Like, there's not blind people going around with donkeys on leads, like, because
They've
you're.
had their dogs for donkeys.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a dog
yeah,
amnesty.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I mean, right? Yeah. So they've had these dogs. They've obviously had these dogs for a long time, and I think they've probably been offered like new ones, but they've got so attached to the dogs they refuse to give them up. And the people that are given the dogs know that the dogs like sort of outlived its sort of time. It's not.
Yeah, but what you see,
fulfilling
what makes
its
it,
purpose anymore?
what makes the dog crap? What you see
Just
in it.
like because they're not supposed to be like you're not supposed to like stroke them and that when you
It's
see
not the
it.
dog's fault. I'll just.
Yeah.
No, I know, but like the dogs themselves are supposed to surely like no, they're not supposed to be stroking. They're supposed to ignore you. So if you're trying to stroke, if you're trying to stroke, they're not supposed to enjoy. I've just seen too many of them wagging their tails. They're not supposed to be like having a good time. No, but they're obviously like a little bit like like on the wild side, like sort of a little bit untamed. If they're like going about wagging their tails. The other thing as well is they stop to sniff like food and that. That the woman's like there like trying to like stand still so she can sniff the stuff, and the dog's like pulling her like trying to sniff some freaking like tangerines or whatever.
Yeah, but Tom, so surely
And
there's
it's like,
more
hang on a
money
minute,
to train the dogs
that
better.
dog's
Yeah.
not supposed to be doing that. For fuck's sake, like you need a new one.
I've seen a lot of shit.
Your objections to the world, man. Unless you've seen a guide dog lead somebody in front of a moving bus, I'm not sure these guide dogs are that shit. I don't think wagging a tail constitutes a shit guide dog or smelling a tangerine.
That's the thing. They're amazing, aren't they? They stop you walking into traffic.
Yeah.
Walking off cliffs.
But it annoys me when I see people stroke them as well because you're not supposed to. And they
No,
do.
that's I know what you mean.
The blind people never tell you off.
I wonder why that is.
They never say, "Oh, don't stroke my fucking dog," or it's gonna fucking wander off into the road in a minute.
It's like a curse that you put on the dog. If you stroke it once, it just walks into the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
One
what
stroke,
trained.
it forgets everything.
Yeah.
All his training.
Yeah, 3 strokes, it's a reset button. It
Yeah,
just goes
yeah.
back to normal. So
Just
you
goes
have to
back to
know.
being a dog.
They should just turn around and say, "Excuse me, don't do that because it's not right. It's not professional, whatever." Yeah.
It's not
But
professional.
I wonder, honestly, I don't trust them, those dogs, because I wonder how many, right, if they were in a situation where they're about to cross the road, like, and take their little blind old lady with them, yeah, across the road, if there was a guy stood on the other side of the road waving a piece of meat, yeah, whether the dog would go for it or not, and I think that most of them would. I don't trust them, man.
There's only one way to find out.
What are you suggesting would be better for blind people then? If there's all these people
No,
carrying
let-
chunks of meat around.
They
Let's
should
be honest
probably
here as well.
blindfold the
Let's-
dog so they can't be distracted by other people. But They should just train them to know where they're
Literally
going.
the blind
using
leading
this.
the blind.
By,
like, and would the guide dog have will have a cat, blindfolded cat, and the blindfolded cat would have a small blindfolded mouse.
why not choose people?
What?
Well, why don't you just like get your best friend to hold your hand and take you around town? I don't.
Yeah,
get
so your
what-
best friend has to go everywhere with you all the time.
Well, it's safer though, isn't it? More reliable. You know where you stand.
So guide people for the blind then. How much more is this charity going to cost?
Yeah, no, because I initially said guide dogs for the blind because I thought it's animals and people, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
a charity that does both. But actually, Tone's getting rid of the dogs.
You know how in Britain, like, we love dogs and stuff as pets. Is that kind of the reason why dogs have become like, you know, sort of like guide dogs? Like in other countries where they don't have dogs as pets but have like monkeys as pets, they use like monkeys. Do you reckon?
You can get helper
Same
monkeys.
thing?
Yeah, helper monkeys, yeah. And they do make you cups of tea.
Like
Yeah.
in India, would they use camels as a guide?
A bit big.
Guide camels.
A bit big to be domestic animals.
I don't know, do you?
In
Depends what
India.
animals-
Yeah, good point.
They imported all these camels over there to fucking...
Yeah, in India, we guide elephants. You'd
Yeah,
be even
yeah,
worse.
yeah, yeah.
It's just-
Yeah.
You know, you'd be absolutely fine with a
Mind
guide
you,
elephant.
guide elephants would be fun. You just get on their back and they literally just walk over everything.
Just strap
Doesn't matter if a car comes.
Yeah, tie a seat to their leg and just sit on the seat.
No.
Just kick you out of it. You go flying across the road.
Fucking
No,
hell.
they tie a chair around its leg, like facing forward as well.
That's
you
what I
can
mean. So
sit
as soon as it
put a
goes
little
like
seat
that,
on.
you shoot out of
Yeah.
it. Oh, seatbelt.
Or just sit on their back.
No, mate, this is the thing. If it's tame, it shouldn't do that, should it? It should walk slowly.
It's tame.
I think that it's
Jesus.
a dog because right when you're not going to get your best mate, it's so they live independently, doesn't it? It's not just little old ladies and stuff. It's
I
like
guess so, yeah.
you could be just you but blind, and you have a dog, and it's like you've got your dog's like your mate, isn't it? Like your companion.
Yeah, man's best friend.
Yeah, it's a bit weird as well though, because they get attached.
What about
to
the other
that,
stuff?
and then
'Cause
if
Yeah, you
die,
do get
they're gonna
attached
be
to your
really
pet.
upset.
Yeah, it's not
you
weird.
you must be attached to your dog.
Yeah, but I wouldn't bloody freaking, you know, blindfold myself and get it to like walk me out on the street.
That's not what I mean.
Who's doing that? No one's doing that.
That's
I'm
not how
saying
we're
is that-
equating the love. You don't have to be
If
blind
I ever
to
became
love.
blind, I wouldn't say, right, don't worry, I don't need a guide dog, I got a dog already.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone
We
would
got
let
a
you
good
do that. I don't
relationship. We
think
got a
anyone
good
would.
relationship. She'll take me to shop and back.
You'd be dead in 4 hours. You'd be dead. Yeah, probably less than that.
Ready, mate?
Yeah.
Sort of had one, but now it's time for a further, because it's kind of all three. A question of quantone leap zone.
Yeah.
I'll try and match the music together. It's going to be a mess. You get the choice to wake up as somebody else. Who do you choose, and what do you do?
Has you got this for a day?
You got a week.
Nice.
A week as somebody else?
You know that guy that did the journey across the Nile?
Michael
Michael
Palin.
Palin.
No.
Jesus.
Walk along the Nile. That young guy was on TV. I just choose to be in like to wake up with someone like that and be somewhere like that and just get to like experience those things for like a week.
So you'd want to walk across
You
the
want
banks
to
of
go
the
on
Nile for a week?
holiday to Egypt. This incredible ability, and you go on holiday to Egypt essentially. You do
No,
a weird
'cause-
vacation where you spend a week in an Egyptian man's body
No, you
in
know,
his
like,
hometown.
you know, like because you're filming like a show in you, like a program, like a TV program.
So
So
you
you
heard
got-
about that
it's all
specific
set for
guy?
you ready. Like you've got
Yeah.
a camera crew there, and you've got like his timetable like there in front of you. And you've just got to do it. So he's done all the hard work. He's done all the organising. It's all been done already. You have to do it
This is
yourself.
so weird, Tom. Like,
This
this is the weirdest
such a
you've ever done.
strange place to go. So you go to a relatively.
I'm not saying I go to Nile. I'm just using it as an example
but
of I
you're
go
talking about
something
the
like
thing
that,
that's
where
getting
they're
me
doing
is-
an expedition of some sort.
where
the
there's
thing
a
is-
film crew that's been organised.
Yeah, and you've got a full itinerary with this diary. It's
Yeah.
like you've got to do
Yeah,
these
yeah.
things.
But no, because I know they're going to
No
be good
freedom.
things. I know you're going to get to like travel around China or something.
Was it a mistake giving you a week? Is that that's too much time to fill? All right, you got to. Would you not be like a famous film star?
Or did you
rock
not
star or
think
something
like more like, first thing I thought was Donald Trump, and then I just put loads of money in my account.
Yeah, I thought that, and then I thought I don't want it to be
Incredible.
about money. I didn't want to do anything that would just be about getting richer. I wanted to choose something that a bit different.
Would enrich your life.
I guess it'd be cool to be able to like wake up in a position of power, so you can like do something, like change something radically.
Who are your heroes right now? Do you know anyone now Michael Jackson's died? Do you know anyone famous that's alive or current? Or
I don't
anything
think I've
that
ever
you
really had.
admire?
I don't think I've ever really had heroes. I wouldn't say Michael Jackson was my hero. I don't really follow anybody. I don't think.
No, well, no, we know that.
I might look up to people in my life, maybe, and
Like
be
who?
like,
A celebrity?
Like, oh.
Grant Morrison.
Dog, the bounty hunter.
I guess one thing I'd say is I couldn't say anyone specific, but I'd like to be the sort of person that's more in touch with like nature and stuff, and like very
fucking...
Like that
Very-
Nile guy. Of
like I feel like
Bear
very in
Grylls.
tune with like wildlife and stuff.
I feel that a lot of yours
Like
might
Dr.
be fictional.
Dolittle. No.
perfect.
Yeah.
No, I like that idea of just being able to live a life where you understand a lot
The
about
animals.
the wildlife you live amongst, and like
You can learn that though. You can
You
But
know.
how is this related?
because I feel like people like that have got like a real inner peace, which I would love to have.
Hobbits.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Hobbits, yeah.
Gandalf is a hero of yours, isn't it? Like, it's fine if they're fictional. They,
Yeah,
they
no,
can
of
still
course,
inspire
yeah,
you
it's
all the same.
brilliant,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Jon Snow.
Any fictional ones?
Well, in that case, I'd like to be a hobbit.
Yeah.
Yeah. We knew
There
we'd
you
get
go.
there.
Love it. I'd
There
love
you
the
go.
life of a hobbit.
Love it.
Love it.
In any
Being
given
able to tell
conversation.
stories, sing songs, being able to like just cook really well, make ales, fucking
Great.
make great stews and all that kind of
Be
shit.
small.
Just talking about being northern, aren't you?
Ken Stott. I admire him.
Mm.
He's a fucking badass. You cut that before.
Oh
I had
yeah.
I had a whole heartfelt speech about how much I loved Ken Stott.
From one amazing insight from yourself, Ken, to another, as we enter Ken Trainor's literary salon.
Oh, of course. Of course. Alrighty, right.
Deer Hunter music as fuck.
One book this week, which would be interesting, following on from the last time we were here, we discussed the first 15 lives of Harry August.
We did, yeah. Finished
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's brilliant. Yeah, the ending was fantastic. Read
Yes.
that book.
This week I read Kate Atkinson's novel, Life After Life.
Ooh.
Now, Kate Atkinson, mostly well known. This doesn't really matter, but mostly well known. She created Jackson Brodie, the private detective guy. You ever see those Case Histories, that TV show?
No.
She's a series of novels starring, where the sort of protagonist is this this private detective guy. He's from Yorkshire, but they're set mostly in Edinburgh. They're pretty good. This is a bit of a departure, this Life After Life. It's about the idea that like the protagonist of the novel, she dies at several points and doesn't come back to life, but it's like the first 15 lives of Harry August, in as much as it's about, well, if that didn't happen, how would life have been?
Right.
And it just shows you different.
Like sliding
Stuff.
doors.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Cool.
But slightly bigger, and it's set. She's born in sort of 1911, I think, or 1910. I've only just finished it last night. I should remember this. But and I think that's done in such a way that it shows like, because obviously then she's born prior to the First World War, which her father goes and fights in and stuff. But she's also then she's 30 or whatever in the Second World War. So there's lots of stuff set during the Blitz and things. It's brilliant. But just to give you an example, there's like the one reality whereby like the maid and this guy from the village, they go up to London for the victory celebrations at the end of the First World War, and then when they come back, the guy's, because of all the crowd and stuff, he's got sort of influenza, and then it's like the two, like that's one of the ways in which he dies. But then it's like about her kind of slightly remembering this and trying to stop the maid from going,
Right.
in different ways. And yeah, it just shows you multiple realities. It's not like the first 15 lives of Harry August. It's not like she just lives again and again and remembers it.
Yeah.
It's just like at certain moments, like kind of haunted by this thing, or it replays things whereby, like, there's one section during the Blitz where it's like she's in the basement of this house, this flat that gets bombed, and she's like lying there basically dying, and the guy's trying to comfort her and stuff. And then much later on, it's like she's you know, like I don't know what they were called really, but you know, the teams of people that go and help, you know, switch the gas off, and there's firemen there,
Right,
and they go and try and dig the people out of the rubble and stuff, and she's there, and it's like the same house and stuff, and, and the guy's there that was comforting her in another life's comforting someone else, and it's kind of the same dialogue, and it's just you see it because it's that always that idea of, I guess, moments that in one reality we die, and so that sort of quantum splitting idea, you know what I mean, that we go one way or another. And so effectively like sliding doors, but it just played it out in there was more than just two. You know, it's like if you imagine that the split like throughout life and the haunted by the choice that is not made. And it's always but it was all hinging around time she could have died. The disappointment with it I found was that it didn't go. There's this idea of like quantum immortality, which says that like if I turn left now or I turn right, there's a world in which the opposite is always true. Do you know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like that, you know, Schrodinger's cat thing is the cat alive or dead. It's both, you know what I mean? So there's two universes, one in which the cat's alive, one in which it's dead. And so it's like if you walk out and step into the street and get hit by a car and you die, there's another universe where something happens and you don't step out, or you step out a fraction later. Do you know what I mean?
But it's always one that leads to death or one that doesn't.
Well, so there's always always options lead to death, but the thing is the book was kind of about that, but it didn't go into like the possibility, which isn't really a possibility as we know, but it got so quantum mechanics allows for this idea that there's always a world in which you don't die.
Well, you think about it in terms of a multiverse as well. It's not just a case of either die or you don't. There's infinite possibilities in between that as well. Where you only break a certain amount of bones, one bone, one tiny fracture, 1 millimeter of a fracture less each time. But it can go on ad infinitum when you just change those minute details about it to a molecular or rather a quantum level. That's the point of it. It's
yeah, but I agree though that it would be more interesting. It'd be more interesting to read if it wasn't just leading to death as the other option. If it was like, well, what else can come out of the life without the ultimate sort of end being an accident like death? Because I'm assuming that it's not just death of old age then. If you choose
no, she died
like
multiple times as a kid, and there's different ways in which she. I mean, like.
Why does it have to be about that? Why can't it just be about like just making certain decisions? Like.
Should we write to her?
Well, you could do. You could easily do it.
Your life.
Yeah, you could easily do it. That you know, you could follow a protagonist through multiple possible lives, and in none of them, you know, or in every case, he or she dies of old age.
Yeah.
You could easily do that, couldn't you? It's just she chose it as it could be. Yeah, it's just she chose this route of, you know, of death, of full stops. But it says equally within that, you could always imagine that there'd always be a world in which you don't die of. Like each second that passes is like this is your last breath. But then there'll always be a universe in which it's not your last breath. And so, for each of us, there's a universe where we would have to live forever.
Yeah, but it wouldn't old age be the inevitable one? The inevitable.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. That because logically, no.
What? There's a universe where you can live forever?
There'd have to be.
It'd have to be.
Because you die, you die of old age, but like there'd be one where you don't die of old age at that moment, wouldn't there?
You might die at 85, 84, 83, 82, 81. All the days and all the different.
So they've all got to be possible. So like if you live your whole life and you get to 100, and then it's like you get in, you know, like your last breath, but there'd be a universe where you die, that's your last breath, and then there'd be one where it's not, and you go on living, and so there'd always have to be one where you live
tiny
forever.
Variations that sometimes people call the butterfly effect. It doesn't really apply, but for instance, and to keep it really simple, if you inhaled one bit of smoke because in one universe you stayed in a pub for a little bit longer, that could have contributed to a shadow on your lung that then led to a disease that killed you a day earlier than it would have done before if you'd have left the pub a second earlier.
Right.
But it keeps going, isn't it? There's a universe where you stayed in the pub and had.
Is this book open to the infinite possibilities?
No, that's what I mean. This book just
how big
plays
would
out.
that book?
I mean, it's good. It's good in as much as it's different from like the first 15 lines of Harry August in that it's kind of the character's more sort of embedded, shall we say? It's not. It's like things change around, like situations. Some characters die, some characters live on. Do you know what I mean? Things happen to people differently as well, but it's not just intrinsically linked to the one character or just following her choices. She just lives different lives. There's no like the plotting was kind of different. It didn't have that sort of I don't know, adventure feel that the first 15 Lives of Harry August.
Tension from the off
But
until the last 2 pages.
Life After Life's got different, you know, ebbs and flows. It's quite good. It all folds into a kind of a very basic. I don't want to say because it'll ruin it. But there's a bit that you just like, oh, she's not gonna do this, is she? And then she goes and does it. But hey, it's signalled on the first page, so
right.
You kind of, But yeah, it's just all about I guess the possibilities, possibility after possibility, a life where different lives, different reactions to events lead to completely different things.
I like that. I like the
Different
idea
deaths.
of the structure and thinking about that, because with Harry August living again, it's great to sort of fantasize about what you would do and what you could do, and we did so on this podcast.
Yeah.
It was awesome, but then also makes you reflect and go, well, that definitely isn't going to happen, or I'm pretty sure that it hasn't happened, and I'm not sure there's been records of it happening to anybody, so really I should really consider the decisions I make at this point, and then at this.
This is a in that sense it's a stronger book, I think, because it's about that
That's
awareness
what
of
it
like
gets
the
you to do,
different
think about stuff like that.
I like it. There was a lot of reflection. Like I said, it was just a brilliant story, man, to come back to it. But I look forward to reading it, Ken. Well, thank you very much. So, last year, Dothraki and Valyrian, the 2 made-up languages from Game of Thrones, were heard more on British TV than Welsh, Scots, Gaelic and Irish combined.
What do you mean Irish?
Irish.
Is that a language, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's Gaelic. I mean, I think the Irish are like, why do you call it Gaelic? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But you just said, what did you say that list?
Irish, Scots, Gaelic, Gaelic.
I think they're the same language.
No, they're not.
I thought
Scots,
they were.
Gaelic and
I thought
Irish,
Gaelic
no way.
was like
They're not?
spoken by.
No, definitely not.
Are you sure?
100%.
You're not going to elaborate and say 100% because of this. It's just like...
Yeah, because they're different languages.
Was heard on TV more than all those languages?
Yeah. There's quite a bit of Game of Thrones on. And more people tuned in to watch Game of Thrones than...
But S4C, for example...
Yep.
Has non-stop Welsh dialogue.
That's right, but not as many viewers as Game of Thrones. And on that bombshell, as a tribute to Jeremy Clarkson, I'd like to thank my co-participants for this week. Antonio Romola.
Cheers.
Justin Cliff.
Thank you,
And Kenneth Trainer.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
You can see this picture of... I'm looking for weird things you can buy on Amazon, just as we're talking about it, and about this.